Welcome to the Dropship.com podcast. Today, we're bringing you more e-commerce insights, dropshipping strategies, and all the inspiration you need to grow your business. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, this podcast is your one-stop shop for success. Ready to roll? Here are your hosts, Ava and Noah.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know how you're always asking about ways to get your website seen by more people?
Yeah.
Well, you sent in this awesome article called Rank Number 1, How to Dominate Search Engines with SEO.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
It is packed with useful info.
Yeah, it really is.
And so we are diving deep into SEO today
Love it.
to make sure that by the end of this, you are totally set to rank higher and get more eyes on your website.
You know what really stood out to me about this guide
Oh, yeah.
was that it promised to help anyone get to that top spot in the search results.
Nice.
Even if you're not super techy
Right.
or if you don't have tons of cash to spend.
I feel like that would be huge for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely a game changer for a lot of folks.
The stats in here are pretty wild.
Oh,
Like, did you know that more than 70% of search clicks go to the first page of results?
wow.
It's like if you're not on that first page,
Yeah.
you're basically invisible.
Totally. It's kind of like, you know, when you're at a party and there's that one group that
Yeah.
everyone is hanging around.
Okay.
You want to be in that group, right?
Yeah.
Where people can see you
Yeah.
talk to you.
Right.
That's what the first page of Google is like.
Makes sense.
And this guide shows you exactly how to get into that group.
Awesome. Okay, so before we get into the strategies,
Yeah?
let's break down what SEO actually is. Because sometimes it feels like a secret code.
It can feel that way.
Yeah.
Think of SEO
Okay.
or search engine optimization as the language you need to speak so that Google understands what your website is all about.
Interesting.
It's kind of like giving Google like a VIP tour of your site,
Okay.
pointing out all the cool things
Yeah.
and telling them why people should visit.
So it's like we're creating a map for Google,
Yeah.
but instead of streets and landmarks,
Mhm.
it's keywords and content.
Exactly. And that content needs to be amazing.
Right.
Because remember, Google's trying to give searchers the best possible results.
Okay.
So if your website is full of, you know, valuable,
Yeah.
relevant information
Right.
that answers their questions,
Mm-hmm.
Google's more likely to rank you higher.
So it's kind of like you're the go-to expert in your field,
Yeah,
but online.
exactly. And you know what's really interesting? That this guide makes this point,
Okay.
that most people that are searching for something specific,
Mm-hmm.
like a product or a service, they're ready to buy.
Oh, wow.
So if you can rank at the top for those keywords,
Okay.
you're basically giving those customers a direct line to your business.
So it's not just about getting traffic to your website.
Right.
It's about getting the right traffic.
Yeah, like highly motivated customers
You
who are already looking for what you offer.
Wow. That is powerful. And that's going to be one of the big reasons why SEO is so much more valuable than just spending money on ads.
Yeah, for sure. Because with ads, you're paying for each click.
Yeah.
But with SEO, you're building something sustainable.
Right.
It's like that old saying, give
Yeah.
a man a fish and you feed him for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime.
SEO is the fishing rod,
Exactly.
and the top Google ranking is the big catch.
Yeah, and this guide is all about teaching you how to fish.
Nice.
One of the first skills you're going to need to master is keyword research.
Right.
And that's all about understanding what your ideal customer is actually typing into Google.
Okay, so like we're becoming detectives,
Yeah.
trying to uncover the clues
Mm-hmm.
to what people are really searching for.
Exactly. The guide mentions this thing called long tail keywords.
What are those?
So long tail keywords are longer,
Okay.
more specific phrases that people search for.
Okay.
So think like eco-friendly yoga mat for beginners
Mm-hmm.
instead of just yoga mat.
Interesting.
These are great because they show higher purchase intent
Okay.
and there's often less competition.
So it's like we're finding a niche within a niche.
Yeah, exactly. And the guide actually has some really cool tips on how to find these.
Awesome.
It's not just about guessing, you know.
Right.
There are tools and strategies you can use to get inside the minds of your potential customers.
That's great. So we've talked about what SEO is,
Yeah.
finding the right keywords,
Mm-hmm.
and now this guide is talking about how important website structure is.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, think of your website like a physical store.
Okay.
You wouldn't want it to be cluttered or disorganized
Right.
or hard to navigate.
No, for sure.
It's the same with your website.
Yeah.
It needs to be user-friendly
Right.
and make sense
Yeah.
both to visitors
Okay.
and to Google.
So we're creating that clear path
Yeah,
for people and search engines to find what they're looking for.
exactly. And part of that is making sure your website is full of valuable content.
Right.
We're talking like engaging blog posts,
Yeah.
helpful guides,
Yeah.
maybe even videos or infographics.
I like it.
This is what really makes you stand out and shows Google that you are an authority in your field.
So it's not enough to just put up a website.
Right.
We're creating a destination that people actually want to visit
And spend time on.
and explore.
Exactly. And the guide actually mentions
Yeah.
how Google penalizes websites that have what's called duplicate content.
What's that?
That's like the same text copied and pasted across multiple pages.
Oh, so each page needs to be original
Exactly.
and have valuable information.
Yes. Think about it like departments in a store.
Okay.
Each one has its own purpose
Right.
and its own specialty.
Makes sense. And like in a store,
Yeah.
it's important to be able to navigate it easily.
Right.
So what do we do for that on a website?
Well, this guide recommends a few things.
Okay.
Clear navigation menus,
Yeah.
internal links connecting different pages,
Mm-hmm.
and something called breadcrumbs.
What are breadcrumbs?
It's like leaving a trail
Gotcha.
so people know where they are on your site.
I like it. And there's that pro tip
Oh, yeah?
to have any page on your site accessible within 3 clicks from the homepage.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it keeps things user-friendly. Right.
And helps Google understand how your site is organized.
Awesome. Okay, so we're creating this picture
Yeah.
of a well-structured website
Yeah.
with great original content,
Mm-hmm.
easy navigation.
Exactly.
Sounds like we're creating a Google-friendly masterpiece.
That's what we're doing.
Oh.
But there's more.
Oh.
We also got to make sure this masterpiece is mobile friendly.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, these days everyone's on their phones.
Right.
So if your site looks terrible on a phone,
Yeah.
you're going to lose people.
Makes sense.
Google actually prioritizes mobile-friendly websites in their rankings.
Okay.
This guide has a whole section on how to test and optimize your site for mobile.
We should check that out.
Yeah, we can dive into that later.
Awesome.
Uh,
We've talked about content
Mhm.
structure.
Yeah.
But what about the technical side of things?
Yeah, the guide talks about that too.
Okay, cool.
It emphasizes fast loading times
Right.
because nobody wants to wait for a slow website,
No.
and Google knows that.
Of course they do. They actually use page speed as a ranking factor.
Wow.
So making sure your site loads quickly is super important.
It's like the difference between walking into a store
Yeah.
and having the door swing open right away,
Yeah,
or waiting for someone to slowly unlock it.
exactly. You're way more likely to go to the store with the fast door.
Exactly. Okay, so how do we make our website load faster?
There's a bunch of techniques.
Okay.
Like compressing images,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning up your code.
Okay.
We can get into all that later.
This is great. We've covered so much.
I know, right?
But I feel like we're just getting started.
Oh, yeah, we are.
I want to hear more about these optimization techniques and
Yeah.
how to make sure my website is,
Yeah.
checking all the boxes for Google.
Well, we've definitely laid a solid foundation today.
I agree.
And in part 2,
Yeah.
we're going to get into the specifics of how to optimize each page on your site for the keywords that we talked about.
Perfect.
That's where the real magic happens.
Can't wait.
I know it's going to be good.
Awesome. Okay, so in part 1, we talked all about what SEO is and why it's important.
Yeah.
And like how to start thinking about keywords and website structure.
Right.
Now I'm ready to hear about all those optimization techniques that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Because this guide is called Rank No One Part.
Yeah.
So it's got to have the goods.
It really does. It's got some awesome advice on how to make each page on your site a magnet for Google.
Okay, cool.
It's all about understanding what they call on-page SEO.
So what is on-page SEO?
Basically, it's all the things that you can do on your website
Okay.
to make it really clear to Google what that page is about
Right.
and why it deserves the top spot.
Okay.
Things like using keywords in your content,
Mm-hmm.
writing titles and descriptions that'll make people want to click,
Yeah.
and even optimizing your images.
So it's like we're dressing up each page
Yeah.
and making sure it's ready for its close-up.
Exactly. And one of the things that stood out to me in this guide
Yeah.
was this idea of writing for humans first and then optimizing for search engines.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, don't get so caught up in keywords
Mm-hmm.
that you forget to create content that people are actually going to enjoy.
Right. It's got to be that balance.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to appeal to Google,
Mhm.
but also you want to make sure that it's appealing to real people.
Absolutely.
Because they're the ones that are actually going to be reading it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a great example in the guide.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say you're selling running shoes.
Okay.
Instead of just saying best running shoes
Yeah.
over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
you could say something like,
Okay.
looking for running shoes that feel like clouds on your feet.
Ooh. I like that.
These lightweight wonders are designed for both speed and comfort,
Okay. Yeah.
making them perfect for beginners and marathon runners alike.
I mean, that's way better.
Yeah,
It just feels more natural. It
Uh-oh.
still has those keywords in there,
exactly.
but it doesn't sound forced or like spammy.
Yeah, that's what we're going for.
Yeah.
It's all about finding that balance between providing valuable info to people
Right.
and giving Google those signals that it needs.
Okay, so what are some other signals that we can send
Yeah.
to make sure Google knows what our content is about?
Well, there's some technical stuff that the guide gets into,
Oh boy.
but it's not as complicated as it sounds.
Okay, good.
One thing it mentions is using descriptive URLs.
Okay, so instead of having a URL that's like
Yeah.
website.com page 123,
Right.
we should use words that actually describe what the page is about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for that running shoes page,
Yeah.
a better URL would be website.com/lightweight running shoes.
Okay, I see.
So it's clear to people and to Google what they're going to get when they click on that link.
Makes sense. What else?
Another thing is optimizing your images.
Yeah.
A lot of people just upload a picture and they're done.
Right.
But you can actually add what's called alt text to each image,
Okay.
which is basically a short description of what that image is.
So it's like giving it a label.
Yeah. Exactly. So you can find it later.
I like that. Why is that important?
It's important for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
It helps people that are visually impaired
Right.
understand what's in the picture,
Okay.
and it also helps Google index your images properly,
Gotcha.
which can actually lead to more traffic from image searches.
Wow, I had no idea
Yeah.
that there was so much strategy behind just putting an image on your website.
There's more to it than you think.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we can do to optimize each page?
Yeah. Is there anything else?
The guide talks about this thing called structured data markup.
Oh, that sounds technical.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
If you explain it like I'm 5.
Okay, so basically, structured data is a way to give Google more information about your content
Okay.
using code.
Okay.
Think of it like adding labels to your content
Okay.
so Google can understand it better.
Gotcha.
So, for example, if you have a product page,
Mm-hmm.
you could use structured data to tell Google things like the product's name,
Okay.
the price,
Yeah.
the reviews, the availability,
Wow.
all that stuff.
And that helps it show up in the search results better.
Exactly. Google might even show star ratings or price information right next to your listing,
Oh, wow.
so you stand out more.
That's awesome. It's like we're giving our website a superpower, so
Yeah.
it's more visible
Yeah,
and more attractive to potential customers.
exactly. And the good news is
Yeah.
there are tools and plugins that can help you do this,
Nice.
even if you don't know a lot of code.
Perfect. This is so helpful.
Yeah.
I want to talk more about user experience.
Okay.
Because we talked about it in part 1.
Yeah, user experience is key.
Right.
You can't just optimize for Google. You
Mm-mm.
got to make sure your site is enjoyable for real people, too.
Yeah. So what are some things that we can do?
Well, we talked about clear navigation
Yeah.
and fast loading times,
Mm-hmm.
but the guide also talks about having a clean and visually appealing design.
So no cluttered pages
Yeah.
or like annoying pop-ups.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Keep things simple and clear. Okay. Make sure it's easy to read. Right. With, clear headings,
Yeah.
bullet points,
Mm.
plenty of white space.
Okay.
And don't forget to test your website on different devices.
Yeah.
Make sure it looks good on phones and tablets.
Right. Because people are browsing on all sorts of different things these days.
Exactly.
There's another point in the guide that I wanted to ask about.
Oh, yeah.
It says we need to have a clear call to action.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Basically, you need to tell people what you want them to do.
Okay.
Do you want them to sign up for your email list,
Right.
buy a product,
Okay.
download something?
Yeah.
Whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
make it super clear
Okay.
and make it easy for them to do it.
So like clear buttons,
Yeah.
easy to find forms,
Mm-hmm.
all that good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
It feels like we're really starting to put all these pieces together now.
Yeah.
We've got the keywords, the content,
Yeah.
the structure,
The technical optimization,
user
it's
experience.
all coming together. Is there anything else?
Well, there's one more big piece that we haven't talked about yet.
Okay.
Backlinks.
Oh, yeah. I remember you mentioning those.
Yeah.
Those are the links from other websites to your website.
Exactly. And they are super important for SEO because they're like votes of confidence from
Yeah.
other websites.
It-
So
yeah.
basically, the more high-quality websites that are linking to you,
Mm-hmm.
the more that Google sees you as an authority in your field.
So it's like building our reputation online.
Yeah, and this guide has some really interesting ideas for how to attract more backlinks.
I'm intrigued.
But I think we should save that for part 3
Okay.
because it deserves its own deep dive.
Awesome. I can't wait. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our SEO deep dive.
Look excited.
Me too. We've covered a lot. I know, right?
Yeah.
You talked about keywords and website structure,
Mhm.
on-page optimization, and making sure that our website is like super user-friendly.
Absolutely.
Now I'm ready to hear about backlinks.
Yeah,
You mentioned that they're like votes of confidence
Right.
from other websites.
exactly.
But how do we actually get them?
Yeah, good question. Well, one of the best ways
Okay.
is to create really great content
Okay.
that other websites would naturally want to link to.
So it's like we're becoming a content magnet.
Exactly. Think
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in-depth blog posts,
Okay.
comprehensive guides,
Mhm.
original research,
Interesting.
infographics,
Right. These are just
videos.
anything that's going to make people want to share it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something that makes people go, wow, I need to tell people about this.
So it's not just about churning out content for the sake of it.
Right.
It's got to be really high quality.
Yeah, it needs to stand out.
Okay. And then this guide also mentions
Yeah.
that we need to actually promote our content
Yes.
once we create it.
It's not enough to just publish it and hope people find it.
Right.
You got to share it on social media.
Okay.
Reach out to people in your industry.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know about this great thing you've created.
Okay. So we're not just like
Yeah.
sitting back and waiting.
Yeah, you got to be proactive.
Got to get it out there.
Exactly. The guide actually has a really good tip.
Oh, yeah.
It says that you should participate in online communities
Okay.
and forums that are related to your industry.
That makes sense.
But don't just spam your content everywhere.
Right.
Be helpful.
Oh.
Answer questions.
Right.
Share your expertise.
So people will see us as like the expert.
Yeah. And if people find you valuable, they'll naturally want to learn more about you
Okay.
and visit your website.
And that could lead to a backlink.
Exactly.
Nice. This is making me think about when we talked about
Yeah.
desk posting.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great way to get a backlink.
Absolutely. You can reach a whole new audience
Yeah.
and get a link from a reputable site.
It's all about making those connections
Yeah.
and, establishing yourself as an expert in your field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous, though,
Oh, yeah.
about like reaching out to people and asking for backlinks.
I get that. It feels kind of like, I don't
Yeah.
know, awkward.
I know what you mean.
Like we're asking for a favor or something.
Yeah, but remember, if you created something really valuable,
Yeah.
you're not asking for a favor.
Okay.
You're offering them a gift.
That's a good way to think about it.
Think of it as sharing something that, will benefit them.
Okay, so we're helping them out. And
Mhm.
hopefully they'll help us out in return.
Exactly. And they'll want to share it with their audience.
The guide has some tips about how to actually approach people.
Oh, yeah. Like, wait.
Like you can comment on their blog posts.
Okay.
Share their content on social media.
Yeah.
Just start those conversations.
Yeah, build relationships.
All right.
It's like making friends,
Yeah.
You wouldn't walk up to someone and be like,
From Away Business.
exactly. You got to get to know them.
Yeah.
Build rapport.
Right.
Find common ground.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But how do we know
Yeah.
if the websites that are linking to us are actually good websites?
Right. What if they're spammy?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the guide recommends using tools
Okay.
to monitor your backlinks.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. And that way you can identify any links that could actually be bad for your SEO.
So it's like we have a security guard for our website,
Yeah.
making sure that only the good traffic comes through.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
And if you find any bad links,
Yeah.
you can tell Google to ignore them.
Okay, that makes you feel better.
All right. So we've got all these strategies for getting backlinks,
Yeah.
but it sounds like it's going to be a lot of work.
It does sound like a lot.
The guide says it's important to create an SEO plan.
Okay.
Think of it as your roadmap.
Okay.
It should outline your target keywords,
Yeah.
content creation schedule,
Mm-hmm.
backlink strategies,
Right.
and you know how you're going to track your progress.
So it's like our blueprint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest keys to success in SEO is consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah. Not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process.
Gotcha.
You got to be patient,
Mm-hmm.
you got to be persistent,
Right.
and you got to be willing to adapt as things change.
Okay, so no magic button.
No magic button.
No overnight success.
It takes work.
But we're getting there.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
It's like we've unlocked the secrets of SEO.
I know, right? Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, this has been fun.
This has been awesome. And to all our listeners out there, thank
Yeah.
you so much for tuning in.
We hope this has been helpful.
We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive as much as we have.
Absolutely.
Now go forth and optimize.
Happy optimizing, everyone.
That's it for today on the Dropship.com podcast. We hope you got some value out of this episode. If you're looking to stay ahead in e-commerce and dropshipping, the Dropship.com newsletter is where we dive deeper into the latest trends, news, and strategies. Delivered every Monday and Thursday. Don't miss it. Subscribe with